Now, I need to make some things very clear to you today. When we define gambling, gambling is, according to law, is any unapproved investment platform that is designed to defraud members of the society using some subtle cover. That is gambling. Do you get it to that point now? The original design, the template, has not been approved by the approving agency of government. And so people do it behind the cover. They just give you something and say, just try it. Put 10 naira. By the time 20,000 people put 10 naira around, that already gives them 3 million. And at the end of the day, they say the coupon. Somebody have won. He has won a fridge. A chest fridge of 35,000, they have made 3 million. That is gambling. And they come in different names and in different shades. At the last time that I checked up by the regulatory stock market, another regulatory agency, there are some betting platforms that the government censored and gave approval to. And there are regulatory agencies, ICPC, EFCC, NFIA, National Financial Monitoring Agency, and other organizations like that. They supervise what they do, and they make their returns back to Corporate Affairs Commission. There are some sport belts. Are you getting me? And so, how do I differentiate between the illegal platform business and the ones that are real? Simple. You go online, put it on Google. NairaBet, is it approved by federal government? Who are the promoters? Who are those? Who are the entrepreneurs that invest to establish it? It will bring it out. Is it registered by Corporate Affairs Commission? Are there regulatory government bodies that guide them? If yes, then it is an healthy business to do. But then you will be endangering yourself because they come with bigger offer. They tell you if you can put 5,000 now, you can win 5 million. And so you want to buy more 5,000. Even MTN. Do you want to tell me MTN is not registered by government? MTN will tell you, do this one. If you can just recharge your phone 20 times within 1 month, you chance the stand of winning latest electric car. Have you seen that before? And so people will recharge their phone. They are gambling to win the latest electric car. One person, 1 million. In fact, there are some programs who want to be a millionaire. In those days, MTN, whether you notice or not, by Frank something. Huh? Who want to be a millionaire? It is your choice. So gather all your money and be giving them. Be giving them. By the time they finish, they will have made a lot of money. But MTN is a registered body. Only one person will, and sometimes they already know who will win. They have prearranged it so that their money that goes out will still come in. All they are doing is business, although legitimated. But as a child of God, what should pastor tell you now? Do I tell you to go and do it? Bible said, Romans 8 verse 14, for as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. So as you are resuming or you are going on break, and then your parent gave you school fees, 120,000 to pay for school fees, and they flash those things on your phone, and you say it is legitimate. Let me quickly use 20,000 out of it, so that I can multiply it to buy shoe for annual revival conference. Are you getting it now? To look good. And then the money goes down, 20,000 fiam. You nearly make it, just one number. They say try again. Then you remove another 20,000. 120 has become 80,000. Then you try again. It remains small. And then until that is the spirit of greed and covetousness. Then the 120,000 your parent gives you has remained 20,000. You say, blood of Jesus. Then you are going from one night vigil to the other. It's not deliverance. You took a dangerous risk and you paid for it. My advice is, any money you want to use for some of these amphibious businesses, They must not be money that is meant for something. Bible says, let all things be done decently and in order. Do you get it now? The money that is meant for your school fees has been programmed for school fees. Put it in the potter. If you have some other money and you feel you are led to play with, it is that money, not the money that is meant for what is right. So on NairaBet, I know that they do it. They do some returns to Financial Monitoring Agency, and so I have never done it, and I will never do it. But if you felt led to do it, I wish you all the best. There is a sin that is not a sin unto death, but you will come back to tell story. Thank you very much. Do we understand that, please? Am I clear? Thank you. Now, the second question. The second question talks about the type of music to listen to. Our brother who asked that question, my son Jacob, our namesake, he just graduated from the University of Seminary Theology. Clap for Jesus. And I'm very surprised that he said it's not just gospel music he listened to. Is it only gospel music that is not worldly? Are there other music that we can feed our soul? He said he listened to Asha. I don't know what, I don't know. I don't know those. What is Asha? Now, you have enough of gospel music online that you can feed yourself with. If you want to listen to traditional Orthodox music, I have them downloaded, even as your pastor. I have some hymns that were composed before they born my grandfather for 7 hours. So sometimes when I want to sleep, my wife is there, I will just switch it on, then they will be playing to me. You listen to songs. By the time you rise up to pray, to connect to heaven is very easy. If you don't want to listen to those ones, there are contemporary worship leaders. God bless them, anointed them for that purpose. Many of them are there that you can download and listen to their lyric. They minister to your soul. Are you getting me now? They usher you into the very presence of God. You have more than enough of them, and you will not be bored. So, for me, as a child of God, for you to have the comfort of time, when I'm praying, I'm repenting on the use of my time. I don't know how you will be a child of God and you have enough time. I know Pastor Jacob is not yet married. You have just graduated. What ministry do you want to go into? You have more than enough thing to ask God for than to spare time to listen to Asha, because Asha will Ashalize your life. So I like to warn you, there are things that may not necessarily be sinful. Are you getting me? But what the Bible tells us is to avoid every appearance of evil. It doesn't mean it's a sin. And let me also say, there are musics that are not gospel music per se. Those who, especially the ancient one, not the modern things these young guys are doing today, the message that comes out of them, the late Ogunde of Oderemo. How many of you have listened to those Yoruba songs? When you listen to those songs, one flashed my way, I still listen. I thought I would listen for 2 minutes, I did for almost 15 minutes. Now, it's not a gospel music, but the message that they are, it's like poetry. It's like you write a poem, a poetry, you now want to give the relic some consonants so that it will minister. If I stand and I'm reading the relic to you, it will be boring. But when I put it into songs and then I present it, though it is not in the Bible, but it ministers to reality of what happens around us. Before the late Ebenezer Obey God born again, he sang so many songs. He was not born again. The late M.K. Abiola was financing his music dynasty. But each of the songs that Ebenezer Obey sings, juju music they call it, they still minister moral instruction. Am I speaking? To those who hear them. In that note, for example now, Baba Oguntade just died some weeks ago. the man that designed the flag of Nigeria and national anthem. Now when we stand now, we say, let us sing. Arise, O compatriot. Is that in the Bible? Nigeria's call, obey. Is giving moral message to arouse our social consciousness to the society. You cannot say that is a worldly music because it is addressing the aspect of the society. So in every national gathering, we sing this as an anthem, but it is not a gospel music. Do we get the balance now? So we should balance. But you yourself, you know, your conscience will tell you, when you see somebody, ashaka saka, asha, asaka saka, aya, and then what he's saying, no head, no tail. The fingers are like that of chimpanzee. Are you getting me? I don't want to mention name because I'm online. All of those things, we don't say I'm demarketing them. Some of those inspirations are from demons. Some of them will smoke Indian hemp like the chimney of a kitchen. The smoke from them is more than the smoke from a kitchen. And when they are high like that, they now come to the stake with gin, several liters of gin. It is no longer them doing it. Some demons have taken over. And when they say, yeah, like that, students, young people will go after that thing, she like that. And some of them, to make those songs relevant, can I shock you, they even do blood ritual. I have one of my pastors in those days that managed my church in the whole of this state. And one of his sons just went astray like that. He came to see me in this office. He went so far. The father is late now. The mother said, you must go to Ilorin and open up to Daddy Jacob. He came here. He has gone so far with one of these modern, you know, Nollywood artists. I won't mention name. He started by helping them with sound. In church, you will not help us with your talent to promote gospel, but you use it to serve devil. He started with that. He graduated to the extent that he will follow the 30-bound team all around. And one day, the leader of this team, one of these is a billionaire, the father to billionaire, noticed that he's always frequent. He said, this one, he can start to come to our house. He started coming. Now for him to upgrade to another level where he will be earning within that club, they invite him to a series of meetings. One of them is that he should go and bring blood. Already he has changed his hair. When you see the hairdo, you know that it doesn't belong here. He's gone far. When it now got to go and produce blood, whose blood will I bring? Reality now dawned on him. He now ran. He's looking for help. So when he's sleeping, he will hear the voice, go and bring that blood. These are demonic. So how do we combine that with serving God? He said, what concordance have light with darkness? Am I communicating? The two cannot go together. Darkness, light came, darkness disappeared. So young people that are here, you listen to wrong music, you download them, and then you are feeding your spirit. You are killing yourself. You may think you are enjoying it now. Look up. What you are doing now, by the time you are 30, 31, it will lose stream. Am I communicating? You just discover, what have I done with my life? To come back to the gospel will become difficult. To survive in that line becomes a wasted life. And can I talk to you? Just like you go to university to read, young people, listen. When you graduate at 400 level with first class, your GPA first class is not the final semester exam you write at 400 level. Do you get it? That is why they call it CP, what do you call it now? Now, it is cumulative. From the first 100 semester exam, they add up, they add up, they add up. That is how kingdom reality is. When God raised a man today, he has marked his track record. Cumulative mark. So if you spend your teenage life, you waste it on drug, on demonic music, secret society, you may be doing it and covering it. Your parents don't know, people don't know. Your cumulative point in the realm of the spirit is counting. So you are only telling us now that in the next 10 years, we can, it's not a curse. We can conclude the type of person you will become. Because you are already making yourself from this state. And now the warning that must come to thee, even if we don't preach today, is the fact that the church has become so docile, so lazy, and therefore you will see that the Nollywood stars, they now have a platform, because the Bible has prophesied that some of them, one of the characteristics of the last day is that they will raise up teachers for themselves, having itches here. Have you heard it before? Implacable. And you will be celebrating them that this is a preacher. I know one of these young men who left from Ilorin here. He started in Ilorin here and ended up in Abuja. In his church, there is a section for gay. Are you getting me? Homosexuals, lesbians, they are there. Those who are Nollywood stars, they are there. And you dare not preach sound gospel to offend them, because he felt Jesus died for them. And he's making a lot of millions of naira. But the question is, will that stand eternal value? So therefore, the church has become a place where we have opened ourselves to accommodate the things that we should crucify and deal with. As a ministry, you should begin to understand now where we stand, what we are teaching you, and what we want to promote in the last days. Am I clear to that point, please? So don't listen to worldly music, ungodly music that does not have value to your spiritual well-being. Now, in the area of business, what kind of business do I indulge in? I have just told you now that business is scriptural. I'm sorry to say that even God, in that sense, is a businessman. He invested his only begotten son, one man. And after how many years? 6,000 years after the cross now, before the cross, and over 2,000 and something years after the cross, he has won over 3 billion people. So in that sense, that is business. So business is simply listen, what is business? Business is the interaction of your human intelligence with society resources. How do I use my God-given intelligence to turn around society resources for my own profit? How can I have 5, and after 6 months, I gain 5 more? It becomes 10. God loves this so much. Out of that, you pay your tithes. Out of that, you feed your family. Out of that, you give charity to those who are in need. Out of that, you give pastor, your pastor, you give me money. Are you getting me now? Out of that, you invest in gospel program. Our conference is coming up now. From the first one will be 1st and 2nd of October, National Youth Conference. You must all be there. And our leaders should begin to arrange. That is why we didn't release buses to travel far and bring everybody today. We are conserving resources. Then from 18th to 21st of October is the annual revival conference. We need money. The leaders we taught you yesterday, our budget for the conference is about 9.8 million, almost 10 million. On feeding alone, the kitchen gave us bill of about 4 million. And we are not going to ask people to pay before they feed, and they will be fed. But are we going to print a card and be going to the street and say, come and give us money? Baba Shekirat, we want to do program, give us money, and our pastor will pray for you. We don't do that. It is out of the blessing God has blessed you that you bring. But if you don't have, how will you give what you don't have? So investment in business is very scriptural and is ideal. And the brother who taught you, especially in the brothers class, is a technocrat. He's an investor himself, an entrepreneur, and a businessman. And he's making money, although he doesn't give pastor money, but we thank God he's making it. He is not telling you, don't do business. Do you get it to that point now? But he's saying, again, in the area of business, there must be a line of demarcation. What do you use your money to do? There are many businesses online, especially today, that is unscriptural. But if there are fake business, it is because there is original that some people can copy and fake it. So you don't say because there are fake, therefore you condemn every other thing. Do you understand it to this level? So how do you go about it to differentiate what you should do and what you should not do? Ask yourself some following questions. Number one, this business I'm going into, is it morally right? 2, does it glorify God? Those are the checklists. Is it 1, morally right? 2, does it glorify God? 3, does it edify the society or destroy the society? And then 4, what is the will of God about it? Those are the 4 questions. Once you do the checklist and it is good, whatever anybody say, go ahead. Because we see in part, we prophesy in part. Do you understand? And finally, you must be led. As many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are what? The sons of God. Do we get it to that point? So you ask, the business I want to invest in online, like my brother came to ask, Bro John, there, somebody is selling enlargement oil and all of that. Number 1, does it glorify God? Is it a business that is approved by the Federal Ministry of Health? Does it gratify the flesh and expose health hazard? Does it stimulate emotions or build righteousness? You ask yourself. If those questions are yes, then, bro, step out. Somebody may be making it, for example, those who sell eja, marijuana, cocaine, hard drug. Small grams of cocaine can turn somebody into a multi-millionaire. Do you say because it is highly profitable and I have masters, I don't have good job, therefore I will go into, even if it is half a gram, I will go into it once, and when I have made good money, I will not do it again. God, I promise you, just once. If I can make like 30 M, I will not repeat it again. But those who do it once, they do it once, and it is sweet. So this is how easy it is. I'm going again. Or cyber crimes. You too, your brain, your conscience, if you are truly a child of God, your conscience will tell you that somebody made this money online, and you go and use your intellectual capacity online, and then you are busy coding and decoding numbers. You try to do some programming and use it to crash into the network of a bank, and then you remove 1 million there. This thing work. Then you go and look at those who have huge money. You remove 5 million. Like Abbas was doing before they caught him in Dubai. The young boy has bought private jet, Bentley car, all kinds of things. But that is proceed of crime. A child of God, a believer, should not indulge in ungodly businesses. Do you understand it now? Then where you are confused, sister, like my sister who asked in the choir, let me encourage you that I appreciate the fact that as a student, you are equally doing some online buying and selling. You know there are platforms. For example, now, we buy some things online. Some of the gadgets we are using now, we sit down here, we place order, and there are people that will buy from China, they will ship, and they bring it to your house. That is innovation. So innovative businesses, they are very lucrative because the Bible says, whatsoever your hand findeth to do, do it with all your mind. But the ones that are criminal based, where you have to defraud somebody, or as a result of the business you are making, you endanger the health of another person, or as a result of the business you are doing to make money, you are destroying God's kingdom on earth. We are running series on Thy Kingdom Come Now. Then you are promoting, you say, I'm a distributor for Nigerian breweries. I'm a distributor for Noble Beer in Jagbo or in Ilesha. Or you go to Ondo State, places like Okitikupa, places like Owo, where they farm marijuana, weed in large quantity. They process it into powder. You get small powder, put it inside, small rub, and close it. That is huge money. And that is what you are doing. When they catch you, you know how to settle NDLEA, and you have your way. You are having your way with men, but you are not having your way with God. It is criminal. Or you are into kidnapping. Church members that even arrange to kidnap their pastor, to kidnap the treasurer and say, today the offering is very huge. I know when they will be leaving. So you go and stay there, carry Okada, 3 of you. When they move, if I just send you a text message like that and say, I will use a code to tell you, move. You just move. You top him. And then, hey, take him. Drop him in a corner, climb Okada one corner, and collect that and use rope to tie his neck. You know you are a criminal. And the next day you come to church, you give testimony, you are donating 500,000. And pastors who are hungry, they don't look at you that, what are you doing as a student? Come here. What level are you? 300 level. How did you get 500 to give that you are testifying? It's part of the proceeds of kidnap. Children of God should not engage or indulge in such businesses. Do we understand this? Am I clear to that level? Where the allocation of mark, like my brother said, you need to make restitution. Number 1, you are an evangelist, I'm mentoring you, you are coming. Okay? So I see that there are a lot of things that we chisel out of your life, and then we bring you to the crucible. So that when you stand, you will be like CAC Babalola. Not these ones that are using Omiye to do magic. Bring candle, bring water, bring pure water, and then be collecting people's money. And then the more they go, the worse they become. I'm sure you don't want to be that kind of woli. Woli Igbalode, Woli Bangbaro, Woli Holy Water. You want to be a fine woli, you must be careful. You are in school to study. Okay? You are not a lecturer. The institution did not employ you to do the work of a lecturer. If you are a good guy, you are morally good, you are also intelligently sound. And some lecturers want to engage you in some research work, some findings. They can even tell you to be a ghost worker. I have man of my son. He's a ghost writer. Professors will engage him to write. The boy is in New York now. He lives with me there. And that is what he's doing. One time he sent some money to me. I have to call him. How did you get this money? This one is a young man. He said, no, there is a professor doing a research work. He connects with online. So he helped him to do some write-up. So you can shuffle internet and come up with something to help those who are researchers, research assistant, no trouble. But where a lecturer is so lazy, he set exam paper, and then he call you and say, you know, you are my friend. Your own is settled. You are going to graduate in this school with first class. Your own, no problem. But Egbon need money. So these are the questions I'm saying. You will be going to market those questions with style. If they catch you, you are your own, no? And then be making returns to me. From there, he gives you money. You are a thief. Are you getting me? Now, on the other hand, he has done exam. This course, that course, that course. It is his duty. He's been paid. And there is a marking scheme. That is why in some universities, you have right to query your score. If they release semester result, they give you some week. Within which they can say you should write. You call for your paper that this is not my score. And then the department can bring out the marking scheme and withdraw it from that lecturer. And they get a neutral person to mark based on marking scheme.